Okay, the prediction from April 2023 for November 2024 federal level. I do this at the end of every even month leading up to the election. And here goes, not many people are going to like this. A few friends of the one candidate, maybe his wife, will like it. Otherwise, this is bound to disappoint. But here goes. I do think 2024 is a Democrat's year. I have three major reasons behind this. But short of bombs from foreign enemies falling on our streets, or mayhem in multiple cities that are domestic, both of which will push us towards a law and order, which probably means a Republican. Short of that, this is a Democrat year, and it's for three reasons. Number one, the public is not angry enough to make significant changes. Number two, the media is so ideologically against Republicans winning and so much more empowered than ever before. The mainstream media is unshakable. Conservatives only have small, right now, little platforms. They are fortunately growing, but I don't think they're growing enough. Third, the Democrats will cheat. There's every reason to believe it because we're pretty sure they cheated in 2020 and nobody has been fired, nobody has been jailed, and we don't see any big mechanisms in place to keep cheating from happening again. So they will. In states that are close, the tide is going to go, the vote is going to be counted anyway in the favor of the Democrats. I can see at most one state that Trump lost that the Republican, whoever it is likely to win. And not even likely. I think Arizona could move in their direction. But North Carolina, which Trump slightly won, could easily go in the opposite direction. Wisconsin, I think, could go to the Democrat side. Iowa, I think, could even go Democrats. So I just don't see Republicans on the electoral level coming even close. And I think Ron DeSantis sees that. It's why I give it a 40% chance, this is the last day in April, that he's not going to run. Okay? Look, if I can see some things, he, far more astute than me, I think can see the same things. And he's young. He could do this again. Or not again. He could do this 9 years from now. He'll still only be 52. So he'll let others get scarred. Not gleefully, but I just think the candidate is going to get lambasted. It'll be as vicious, almost, as Trump suffered for 5 years. Even a good guy, even a Vivek Ramaswamy, if he makes it through the primaries, because he has an R next to his name, he gets vilified. R is the scarlet letter of this early century. Nathaniel Hawthorne in the colonial era, the scarlet letter was A for adulterer. In states like mine, Connecticut, R is an even worse label. And it's many states. There's a type of polling. It's done by 538. It measures sentiments for your sitting senator or your sitting governor compared to a replacement. And their statistic shows that of the 50 Republican U.S. senators, this was from 2022, 50 U.S. senators, 25 of those 50 claimed the lowest of the 28 spots. Only 3 people were interspersed in that otherwise unbroken string of 25 lowly ranked Republican senators. You had to be Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, or Dianne Feinstein, or I'm trying to remember who the other lout from the Democrat side was. But 25 out of 28 is not good. So who's the beneficiary? I don't think it's Joe Biden. RFK's entry is going to push out Biden. There's going to be people talking. What do we do? How do we rectify? That's what behind the scenes Democrats will start to do. And because a prominent family, the Kennedys, are now entering the race, prominent, I think, governors and senators are going to feel free to get in when Biden shows even more weakness. The biggest beneficiary there, I don't think, is RFK. I think he will end up being the equivalent of Eugene McCarthy, who in 1968 got Lyndon Johnson to withdraw, the sitting president. But McCarthy didn't win the nomination. No, that went to Hubert Humphrey. Probably would have gone to RFK had he not been killed. And RFK Jr. in 2024 will be the impetus, I think, for Gavin Newsom. And the guy says the right things. He looks good. He is a fundraising magnet. He comes in with the whole Pacific Coast worth of delegates. So if there's a strongly contested nomination, I think Newsom actually comes through. And yes, unfortunately, I think he beats any Republican. Any Republican. The closest I could see would be Vivek. But he's awfully young, and I just don't feel like people are ready for that. So there's my prediction. What should DeSantis say in June when he says, I'm planning to announce for presidency? I think saying, I'm planning to announce to be running for your president in 2032. And until then, I intend to govern my state the way we have governed well for 4.5 years. I want to continue it. And I want to continue Florida as an example of governance that might even be more important than at the federal level. States and localities can make people's lives better. We've shown it in Florida. We'd like to make America like Florida. If you want to print some hats, fine. MALF. And with that, I'm doing a better service, Ron DeSantis, than I could on a campaign trail. There are many good candidates who will do a great service for the next 15 months. I will vote for whoever is the Republican nominee. I'm not going to give an endorsement because nobody's convinced me yet that the endorsement of a politician deserves merit. Okay? When somebody convinces me, I'll give you my thoughts. Until then, thank you. Good luck to the rest of the field. I think that's a noble way. And it's not a chicken way. It's not, oh, I'm going to likely get beaten by Trump or I'm going to get beaten down by the media. I, Ron DeSantis, have a higher calling. And the less we can rely on federal governance and the more we rely on ourselves, he's right. I hope I'm not right on this final prediction, but here it is, end of April. Thanks for listening here. See you at the end of June.